Alester, what a relief it is to finally see you. I had help from my contacts in Bravos to inform you of your father's death. The funeral will be in the Godswood. The ceremony has already begun.
Why is it not held at the Sept?
It would be if it were not in ruins. Riverspring is suffering on all fronts, I fear. Let us go now. Come with me, Alester. Let us speak as we walk.
What happened here, Maester? How could my father allow things to get to this point?
You know, after you left, Lord Reynold changed. He began to live more and more in the past, and stopped taking care of his duties. Your sister quickly found herself managing more than she should have.
Eliana helped my father govern?
Well, these last few months, she's practically run the house herself. In spite of her efforts, she was unable to slow the inevitable ruin of her lands without a lord. But all is not so dark. Many of your father's vassals remain faithful to their oath. They have all come to the burial in order to honor his memory. We will speak of all this again after the ceremony. Let us make haste, I beg of you.
Man, this place is hurting bad. Everyone's grieving and I kind of just march in here and demand that things be my way, with no real respect for the people that I hurt. Oh, this must be my sister coming now. I have a feeling I'm about to get a tongue lashing.
Hello, Red Priest. I am Lady Alester Sarwyck, daughter of the late Lord Sarwyck. You are just in time for the ceremony. Were you close to my father?
You have changed much in 15 years, little sister.
Alester, why have you returned? We don't need you here.
Harwin told me of father's death. It was my duty to come.
15 years without any news. And he had to die for us to see you again. You would have done better to stay where you were.
I do not doubt that my departure was difficult for you.
Difficult? To say the least. Your disappearance was our father's ruin. Do you know how long I cried after you left? And how long I hoped for news of you?
I am sorry. I left Westeros without once turning back, it's true. I understand your reaction. It must have been unbearable for you, but I had to leave. Know that I never forgot you.
That's easy for you to say. And you should know that we here learn to live very well without you.
I understand your reaction, Eliana.
I doubt it. Go pay your last respects to father. We will speak later.
May the stranger, the eternal outcast,
This Godswood is beautiful.
And may he judge you fairly.
I don't care what anyone else says about this game. If nothing else, it is a beautiful depiction of George R.R. Martin's world.
So valued in the eyes of the Sarwicks.
You should
What you accomplished, you accomplished for your family.
Who is that man?
I believe that is the elder Sarwyck, the one who disappeared. He has certainly changed, but I recognize him.
Who's that evil man smirking and slinking away? I'm sure I'll get to meet with him later. That's always the case with these games, isn't it? The sly guy in the corner giving you weird looks is always the troublemaker in the end. Looks like I gotta deal with my sister first, though. Again, I just, I don't seem to have any respect for their beliefs here.
How could you desecrate our father's body that way?
I desecrated nothing. I performed the final kiss, the tribute that priests of R'hllor pay to the dead.
You may be a Red Priest, but you should respect the beliefs of Riverspring.
I did not intend to be disrespectful, little sister.
Do not think that it is easy for me to speak with you after all this time.
This is all water under the bridge now. At the time, I saw no other way. 15 years ago, the war that King Robert Baratheon fought to claim the throne forced me to commit deeds which haunt me still. The very idea of returning to you was too painful. I did the only thing left for me to do. I left and began a new life elsewhere. Not long ago, I received a letter from Maester Harwin telling of Father's death. I could no longer hide myself. It was time to confront my past. What I regret the most, Ilyana, is that by fleeing to the other side of the waters, it is you whom I wounded.
All these years, I have thrown a veil over your memory. And you return at the moment when everything is in turmoil. I must be alone for the moment. I will see you later, Alester.
Take your time, little sister. I understand.
Alester, Maester Harwin would like to speak with you. He awaits you in the castle courtyard. And if I may add, you should be ashamed of that kiss during the ceremony.
My thanks, Ravella. I shall go and see him.
Family drama. The only guy who seems to be happy that I'm here is Maester Harwin. So, let's go talk to him. Hey, Harwin.
Ah, Alester. There you are. Please leave us. So, you're not too unsettled by the situation here?
What I saw of the town upon my arrival was enough. It is a disaster. The people cannot go on like this. I have heard tell that neighboring lords have taken our people's lands.
Indeed. The poverty has worsened over the years. When neighboring lords became aware of your father's situation, they took advantage of the opportunity.
But they have no right to do so. Our lieges, the Lannisters, should have been notified.
Indeed. But our relations with them have suffered since your father held Tywin Lannister responsible for your departure. It was after his death that your sister decided to reopen talks by going to see the most influential member of their family. That is why she requested an audience with Queen Cersei Lannister at the Red Keep.
Oh dear.
It was made very clear our lieges will act once our land has a new master. So your sister worked towards this end. Riverspring has belonged to House Sarwyck for generations. Ilyana has refused to marry a lord from any other house. So, the Queen has chosen a man for your sister.
Who is it?
Valar, your father's bastard son, your half-brother.
Valar. I left Westeros hoping never to hear that name again. It is out of the question for my sister to marry him. He shares our blood. How can the Queen condone a marriage which goes against nature?
Well, it is
You
Cersei.
realize that if Ilyana were to wed another lord, she would take her husband's name. Being a bastard, Valar has no family name. It was the only solution to keep Riverspring for House Sarwyck.
He's just a bastard! Well, that's not very nice. Bastards are people too.
Why choose Valar for a suitor? What does the Queen want?
From what I heard while accompanying your sister to King's Landing for her audience at court, Valar distinguished himself through his exploits. I know that the Queen enjoys surrounding herself with strong, devoted men. That is the case for Valar. By giving him this gift, she ensures his loyalty and increases her power.
But Valar was just a squire when he went off to war with me. It would take more than that to be a suitor worthy of our name.
Seeing him return alone from the war, your father blamed him for your disappearance. No matter how much Valar claimed to work for the prosperity of House Sarwyck, your father wouldn't hear any of it. He cursed him and chased him away from Riverspring for good. Your half-brother was mad with rage and left seeking vengeance. Apparently, he spent several years at the Citadel, using education to compensate for his low birth.
A maester cannot become a lord.
He never became maester, but stopped at the rank of acolyte. He learned the art of war, studied the higher mysteries, and forged links. He was then thrown out of the citadel several years later for studying the forbidden arts. He's been a sellsword ever since.
Sounds like a winner,
His
this guy.
reputation spread quickly, and royal ears heard of him. In 2 years, he went from simple soldier to the Queen's Guard. He moves in the shadows. The nobles of the court fear him.
Valar. He has taken too much from me already. I cannot just stand by while he marries my sister.
There is something else of which we should speak. I would have liked to spare you this. I do not believe that your father's death was an accident. There are certain indications that lead me to believe that he was poisoned.
Gee, I wonder by
Are you
whom.
sure?
Believe me, Alester, I know this subject. The Strangler is a difficult poison to detect, but it leaves certain traces that cannot be caused by anything else.
It's kind of funny because we just had that whole conversation about this guy Valar, who apparently Alester knows is really shady, who the nobles at the court fear, who's in cahoots with Cersei Lannister, and yet now Alester says, "Why would someone want my father dead?" Gee, I wonder. But okay, let's ask it anyway.
Did father have any ongoing conflicts which could have prompted someone to murder him?
I am not certain, but there are rumors of a possible culprit.
Tell me who it is.
This may overwhelm you, but the rumors say that it is your younger brother, Gawain.
Oh,
Gawain. He was but a child when I left.
He and Lord Reynold had some serious quarrels, and he disappeared on the very night of your father's death. We've had no news of him since.
Why? Why would he have done such a thing?
Maester Harwin, the people are rebelling. Rioting has broken out throughout the town.
With all of this festering discontent, it was only a matter of time before this happened.
yeah, where's Ryman?
Tell me, does the Riverspring Guard have the situation under control?
For now, they are securing the entrances to the castle. Barricades protect us from a direct attack. But the streets are inaccessible to us. We have too few men. The guard is overwhelmed.
Who is behind this revolt?
I think I know who leads them. I crossed paths with a certain Tyrek when arriving, a rabble-rouser, telling the people to take up arms.
Tyrek? I heard some guards say that he was getting people worked up in the marketplace.
How did things get this far out of hand?
Well, the lords left the castle after the burial, with their fine clothes and all. Whereas the villagers are starving, all of this flaunted wealth must have pushed them too far. Everything erupted. The villagers began to attack the lords, taking them hostage.
Oh jeez, it's
You
a
said that the
hostage
revolt is being
situation.
led from the main square. We must go there immediately.
Captain Ryman says that it's impossible. Our men are barely managing to keep them at bay at the castle doors. There are not enough of us to attempt an escape.
Where is Captain Ryman?
He is at the doors. He's the one that ordered the barricades.
7 hells! If Ryman deals with it, the revolt will end in flames and bloodshed.
Riverspring has already suffered too much. I must join Ryman. Riverspring needs me. I will not watch our land fall into ruins without acting.
Very well, but I beg you to be careful. You are a Sarwyck. Act as a liege, Lord Alester, and know that your acts will have consequences.
I will do what must be done.
I am sure you will.
What? I'm Lord Alester now? Okay. Alright. Let's save. Okay. Let's get to it then. This is not going to be good. I'm going to be facing down the peasants. Not only am I the son of the Lord, I'm also a red priest. I don't know why Maester Harwin thinks it's a good idea for me to try to calm them down, but hey, I'm willing to give it a shot. Oh look, there's Ryman.
Well, well, look who's here. Dear Alester. What have you come for, my good cousin?
I hope you're thinking more clearly than you were earlier.
I have no lessons to learn from a coward.
Let's not start that again. Ryman, I did not come here to fight with you. What can you tell me of the situation here?
We've almost regained control of the southern part of town. My soldiers are about to clean it out. But in the marketplace, there are still skirmishes between rioters and people loyal to our cause. Nobles who came for the ceremony are still being held hostage by rebels on the docks in the northern part of town.
Very well. Let's go, Ryman. I want to see this for myself.
Really? His lordship would like to see this for himself? Well then, I'd be happy to accompany you to see this. I cannot wait to see you reason with this gang of peasants. I hope that blade at your belt is not just for decoration. Here, take my flask. You might need it.
You people are all jerks. I'm a water dancer. I'm badass. More badass than you are. Oh man, I have fire magic? Once you have unlocked a Relore ability for your character, you can use fire abilities via the Heroic Abilities bar. The Relore ability tree can be accessed through Alester's character sheet. Wait, before I march in there, I want to check that out. Relore. Yeah, awesome! Flaming weapon. Use a flask of flammable oil to set your weapon alight. That sounds awesome. Regenerative heat. Generate heat that helps increase health recovery. Or accelerated combustion. Increase the burn rate on an opponent who is already on fire. Relore's blade. Well, I will want to pursue this side of the tree eventually, but for now I think I'm going to go with regenerative heat because, again, with only light armor on, I'm really going to need to be able to heal really well, so being able to do that is probably a good idea. Alright, let's get in there.
We'll set everything on fire.
Oh, really now? Why am I opening this gate? Oh, this is probably a really bad idea, but, what are these other arrows on my screen? Just kind of curious. Oh, just other gates, I guess. Alright. I'm gonna open this gate like they want, stupidly.
Open this damn gate. We'll die of hunger. Have the gate opened, or we'll set fire to your cursed.
It's a castle. It's made out of rock.
Calm down. There is no point in going to such extremes. I am aware that things are not going well here, but burning down the castle won't make things any better.
So, what do you suggest? We are starving.
Threats, not a good idea. Tax the nobles to feed the people. Yeah, we'll distribute the castle's food. That way we don't piss off the nobles too much either.
As the son of the late Lord Sarwyck, I will ensure that the castle's food reserves are distributed as soon as order has been returned.
The Sarwyck's personal supplies? That just might do. Come along, men. Let's go home.
Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. See, Ryman? All you have to do is reason with people. Be polite. Be courteous. These are all things that I learned as a Red Priest. What's going on over here? No! Don't do it! That's not a good idea.
Ah, there you are, Captain. We were about to execute these men. They must learn who's in charge here.
They'll become martyrs, you fool.
These people must have committed serious crimes if they are to be executed.
They were amongst the rioters. They must be guilty of something.
If you execute people without reason, the situation will only grow worse. Allow me some time to question them.
What shall we do, Captain?
These vermin don't deserve such kind treatment. But fine. Let's see what my cousin is made of.
I'll earn Ryman's respect yet.